Every last one of those officers that was there doing this illegal traffic stop all need to be fired.
That was the reaction of a local Texan advocate after police interacted with Patrick Royal during a routine traffic stop that quickly escalated to death threats.
I'll kill you.
Oh my God.
You stupid back over here.
I feel like that's racism, I'm not gonna lie. Gotta be racist. You is in charge, you in control, talking about you gonna kill him. That's crazy.
Apparently, this incident occurred a few days before Christmas on December 22nd, 2022 in Jersey Village, which is about 20 minutes outside of Houston. Royal said he was on his way home for a lunch break when he was stopped for having a faulty brake light.
It barely lights up. But you know what, though? You can't see it. You know?
Of course, as the news has seemed to insinuate time and time again, black people, especially black men, are often disproportionately targeted by police.
I'm not gonna lie, the police let me go every time. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm in Atlanta. It's mostly black people out here in Atlanta, so maybe I get it different, but I don't be seeing it for myself. Like, I'll rarely get a traffic ticket. They'll stop me and let me go for the most craziest thing. I don't know. Maybe that's me though. Maybe that's me.
And Royal, a black man, may have had reason to be wary of these cops, specifically because one of them was quick to threaten to pepper spray him.
Well, then undo your seatbelt and step out. Okay.
Before patting him down, one of the officers must have asked him to empty his pockets. After that, the whole situation intensified, as Royal appears to be bending down to retrieve something from inside his vehicle.
In another dashcam video, Royal gets out of the car and places his cell phone on the hood. As the second officer is behind Royal, that's when a scuffle starts, and the first officer is seen pointing his weapon at Royal's head.
Yeah, he shouldn't have reached down like that, I'm not gonna lie. Because he don't know what you reaching for. You know, and then he did it so fast. By the way, I love the car, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, you shouldn't have been doing that. You shouldn't have did that, but I don't know, that's just miscommunication.
It isn't obvious from the footage if there were other people around, but there very well could have been. In that case, the officers were not only motivated to protect themselves, but they also had the duty to protect civilians that could have been harmed by a weapon, if Royal were to produce one. In fact, the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics even states that, as a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all to liberty, equality, and justice. But as for Royal, he recounted the events of that day as follows.
Put me in a full Nelson. The officer ran around the car, put the gun to my head, said, "I'll kill you." After that, it went all bad. They threw me on the ground. My knees scarred up, had me in the cop car, ran through my car, vandalized it, didn't find nothing. It was just all unnecessary.
However, a closer look at the body cam shows that Royal was just grabbing for his phone, which was falling off the roof. Nevertheless, it isn't clear whether the officers saw that, especially the one who actually pointed a weapon at him. He may have still been behind the vehicle when it happened, meaning that maybe all he saw was Royal duck down for something. Either way, Royal has garnered many supporters, including Dr. Candace Matthews, who was the woman speaking at the start of this video.
This is why you need to do away with qualified immunity. This is why you need to have in place when an officer see another officer that's on duty with them doing something out of pocket, they need to do something and say something.
Another activist named Quanell X spoke on Royal's behalf during a press conference.
This young man is maybe 120 pounds soaking wet, but when you watch the conduct of these deputies, you will see they had it in their heart to kill this young man if he made one simple move.
Yeah, they need to get penalized for saying something like, "I'll kill you." I don't know. 'Cause he did drop his phone, but we don't know if the officer seen that, and it's just like that "I'll kill you" part, he definitely needs to be compensated, you know what I'm saying?
That they can justify taking his life.
He also said that the officer who pulled the gun on Royal should never be allowed to carry a gun again. That man may one day kill somebody if he's not stopped by enforcement officials within Harris County's DA office. He, Royal, wasn't running from somebody's house. This wasn't a high-speed chase. Coming home from work with groceries in the car on his lunch break, and he was treated like that. We thank God this young man is still alive. And the Jersey Village police confirmed that Royal did reach for his phone after being told to put his hands up, which they say caused the officers to respond with force. Further, they said that there's an open inquiry into the allegations made in the complaint, which assumedly was filed by Royal himself. They said that if it is determined that the officer's conduct violated any policies, the matter will be forwarded to an internal affairs division for complete investigation. Lieutenant D. Keels specifically wrote to a local news outlet, "We are aware that only a 30-second clip of the traffic stop was released to the news media today. This does not provide your viewers the full account of what occurred during this traffic stop, nor does it depict the actions of the driver pulling away from an officer and attempting to reach into the vehicle. This was captured on in-car dash camera video. It makes you wonder what else there is to the story. Hopefully for the officers or Royal's sake, that will be discovered and released soon." Just like the public statements, the comment section of the footage also reflects mixed reactions to the incident. Some condemn the police, but others opine that the aggressive action was necessary based on the pure fact that Royal appeared to be resisting, whether he was just reaching for a phone or not. Whatever the result of this matter will be, the incident obviously had a lasting effect on Royal.
You got anything like that I need to worry about? Officer's car?
No, sir.
Officer's car?
No, sir. For what? I didn't do no wrong things.
Just asking.
Undo your seatbelt. Because we don't know if you're hiding weapons, guns, grenades, anything, man. Don't do it, man.
In October 2020, two police officers, Officer McKenzie and Officer Tucker, pulled over a man, Kerry Jarvis, in Daytona Beach, Florida. The stop started out pretty tame with
He looks crazy, and he really is crazy.
no drama whatsoever. Whilst the reason for the stop was never mentioned, the cops said that they were only going to issue a warning ticket, which is where the stop should have ended.
You got anything like that I need to worry about? Officer's car? Officer's car?
If they gave him a warning, why they asking to search the car? Come on now.
What? I didn't do no wrong things.
However, the cop issuing the ticket went on to ask him whether they could search his vehicle, to which Kerry Jarvis said no, as they already told him that he had not committed any crime, and so the search was unwarranted. But that didn't stop the police pushing for the search to happen, with one of the officers even accusing him of possibly having weapons or grenades in the car, a sharp escalation from the warning ticket he was given seconds earlier.
Undo your seatbelt. Because we don't know if you're hiding weapons, guns, grenades, anything, man.
After a mild verbal altercation, Jarvis gets out of the car with the stipulation that he can watch them do the search. But the police were not going to allow him to do so. Jarvis jumps back into the driver's seat of his car, and whilst one of the cops is grabbing onto him to try and pull him out, Jarvis hits the gas, speeding off down the road, all whilst the cop is still attached to him and his car.
And McKenzie comes to the driver's side. Jarvis asks to speak to someone else twice. He never consents. When officers say he can't watch the search, Jarvis gets back in the car and officers try to pull him out.
Don't do it, man.
Jarvis punches the gas. Officer McKenzie falls to the ground.
The second cop managed to climb into the car, and after trying to grab at Jarvis, Jarvis crashed his car into a ditch, leading to his arrest.
Then Jarvis crashes into a ditch.
He was later charged on 3 felony charges, 2 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer and aggravated fleeing. A bond wasn't set, and Jarvis spent 369 days behind bars.
All you had to do was take the warning ticket and go. That's it. That simple.
Upon reaching his court date, the judge immediately took his side, saying that Mr. Jarvis was unlawfully detained after his first denial of consent, and went on to say that had the officers allowed Mr. Jarvis to leave, as he was entitled to, no one would have gotten hurt. The injuries resulted from the officer's own illegal activity. The state dropped the charges against Jarvis, but by this point, he had already lost a year of his life to the wrongdoings of these police officers.
That one little blink of eye, I lost everything. I lost my kids back, I lost my house, I lost my vehicle, I lost everything I had. It just disturbs me because, you know, if they do it to me, they do it to somebody else.
Since his arrest, Officer McKenzie, the man seen on the video, was found to have violated 3 departmental standards directives and was given a written reprimand. However, the second officer, Officer Tucker, has been terminated for another incident which didn't involve Jarvis. Gary Jarvis and his attorney are working hard to fight the injustice that he suffered, along with other members of the public who have fallen victim to the unjust actions of the Orlando police.
We want to establish that this is a pattern that the city of Daytona Beach is allowing to happen.
Jarvis has recently announced his civil rights lawsuit against the 2 officers in a personally and official capacity.
Yeah, that's